Had the strange urge to make a wand today. Picked up a piece of ironwood that I had lying around the shop and cut it to 1.5 inches square and 10 inches long. After that, I got out my miter cutting jig and simply put a 45-degree angle in one side. And this was just so that I could laminate in a piece of oak, give it a little bit more visual interest. What started as an incredibly simple glue-up turned into this elaborate affair where I had 5 pieces, 3 clamps, and this convoluted setup. It just goes to show you never know what you're going to get with a glue-up.
Okay. That is incredibly complicated.
Waited about 3 hours for the glue to dry, and then it was out of the clamps and onto the lathe. Ironwood is exceptionally hard, hence its name, and roughing it out here was quite laborious. It is prone to tear out, it's very oily, it's very hard on the tools, and you need to spend a lot of time resharpening. But your efforts are well worth it for a beautiful piece of wood. And I'm just shaping a handle that's comfortable to my hand. That's the beautiful thing about wood turning, is you can make it whatever you want. I thought mine sort of looked like an urn at this point. When making a wand, what I do is I shape the handle first, and then I just drill a hole in the end. And that's where I'll put a birch dowel. And you can see this actually started to burn. The ironwood got very hot and discolored the wood. But seemed to be fine after I turned it off, checked for any cracks. Sanded it up, added a little glue, and waited for the glue to dry before moving on to the next step. They say the wand chooses the wizard, but as a good storekeeper, I imagine you want to have a lot of sizes on hand. This one will be around 10 inches long. And here I'm just working on the transition between the handle and the shaft. Just trying to clean it up a little bit, make it look like they're one piece. A little skew work to taper the shaft. Though honestly, most of the tapering I do during the sanding process because it's, well, frankly, because it's easier. One of the beautiful things about ironwood is how nice it polishes up. But it's so hard that sanding is actually really tedious. So I go through all the grits here. It takes me about 40 minutes, all the way up through about 400. And I'm just using shellac here. It's shellac and boiled linseed oil and denatured alcohol. Just a friction polish. And once it comes off the lathe, I'll put a couple coats of wipe-on poly. I just part it off. And then I sand up the end. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.